unbelievable week. Todd actually did our one of our Zoom presentations right in this Star Wars area where we had Chewbacca walking around, and I'm up here talking, and I'm seeing all the characters come around me. It was truly unbelievable. So, guys, you can do the business anywhere, even from the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, and I know you've been there with the grandkids all week. You're at the Disney Hotel, and guys, again, obviously, that Daryl and Maria have crushed the business. I mean, they'll make 500 grand this year. And they're on their way to $1 million a year. But I mean, how many people get to go do what you're doing right now? Be at the Disney Hotel, be there all week, doing the full Disney experience. Papa, can I have this? Papa, can I have that? Sure, no problem. Put it on the old Dave Hart, pay quicker card, right? And so, I mean, it's pretty cool that you get to live that. And of course, as you mentioned, being able to build the business from anywhere. I mean, guys, doesn't matter where you're at. Me and Gina initially launched our business from the softball fields, just like Daryl and Maria built a lot of their business from the baseball fields. I mean, I remember countless Zooms where the game was over and you and Maria were on the bleachers. You could see the ball diamond in the background, right? I mean, guys, it doesn't matter where you're at. You just heard Larissa. She's got 6 kids, a 7th on the way. That's not her excuse not to build the business. That's her motivation for why she does build the business, right? And there's this famous story about these 2 kids. They were brothers, twin brothers, and their father was, he was an alcoholic. He was abusive. He used to beat them. He beat his wife. I mean, it was just, not a really good situation. And his one brother, by the way, he ended up becoming an alcoholic. He was abusive. He beat his wife and, had trouble keeping a job and all that kind of stuff. And they said, hey, how did you turn out this way? How could I not turn out this way? Did you not meet my father? And the other kid, by the way, he never drank and never smoked, never did drugs. He had a great job, had a great wife. He was just so incredible. And they said, how'd you turn out this way? He goes, how could I not turn out this way? Did you not meet my father? And they both had the same father, but they both had a different interpretation, right? They both had a different reason. One kid went to become like his father, and the other kid said, hey, I didn't like that when I was a kid. I'm not going to do that to my kids, right? I didn't like watching what he did to my mom. I'm not going to do that to my wife. And so they both had the exact same circumstances, but they had a different reaction. And that's a big part of life. I mean, what happens to us happens to us all. The same wind blows on all of us. Now, sometimes those circumstances are different. Like my wife had cervical cancer. I don't expect that all of you had cervical cancer, but some of you had different kinds of things. You've had family members that had cancer. Maybe it was breast cancer. Maybe you had family members that had diabetes. Maybe somebody got into a car accident. Maybe somebody had this happen or that happen. We've all had things happen. We've all had our heart broken. We've all been wrong. We've all had things that weren't fair, weren't just. What happens to us all. Sometimes it's a little bit different, nuanced, right? But things happen to us all. This is life, right? And life is, moving forward. But it's all about how we respond to what happens, how we react to what happens, how we interpret what happens. And I think that's also true in the Chervorian business. Daryl and I and Maria and all the ambassadors get rejected just as much as anybody. But we have a different interpretation of that rejection, especially when you've been around 35 plus years like Mr. Daryl Roberts or 30 some odd years like me, where you've seen enough, of human nature in motion where you realize it's not about me. Guys, they're not rejecting me. They're not rejecting travel. They're just not ready. They're just not hungry. They're just not open. They're closed-minded. They've had too much, the indoctrination. You guys heard us talk about that before, right? Too much, of this, right? You will go to school, you will get a job, you will always be broke, you will live paycheck to paycheck. Stay away from any of those things. Those are bad. You start to recognize that some people are just too far in that direction. It's just not their moment. And you just keep moving on. You're talking to people, and then eventually you find people. By the way, Joe, I forgot to put us on Facebook. So let me get us on Facebook and turn this over to you.
Yeah, with Todd, I was just watching, I forget the lady's name. Her name is Mel. That's kind of how everybody knows her, but I forget her last name. And she's a speaker. Mel Robbins. My daughter, Austin, knows who Mel Robbins is. And she was just talking about, I was just listening to her this morning, and she was just talking about how she got so to the point where she was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, she was an alcoholic. She didn't want to get out of bed. She just, life was crashing in on her. She was over $800,000 in debt. And And then you get to a point where you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you make a decision at some point in time. And whenever you make that decision, and she says it could just happen in an instant, that's where everything changes. I remember the video I show multiple times, the Jim Rohn video, The Day That Turned My Life Around. It's about a 6-minute video. You can find it on YouTube. And he talks about the things that literally can turn your life around in an instant. And you're just so tired of being sick and tired. And so for those of you that haven't really stepped fully into Travorium, those of you that are still on the outskirts, just kind of looking in, or those of you still sitting on the bench, sitting in the stands, just, being a spectator, at some point in time, you've got to make a decision. I'm in it to win it. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this done. And I don't know how that happens or when it happens. But when it does happen, guys, I'm telling you, that instant, everything changes and your life goes in a whole different direction. So you may haven't made that decision yet, but at some point in time, it's going to come. And when it comes, you take advantage of it and you run with it until you reach whatever objective that you want.
Yeah, and you look at some of the most famous people in history, guys. I don't care if it's, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, many of the famous speakers that share their story. A lot of them hit rock bottom. And when they hit rock bottom, that became the fuel. That became the moment. That became, I ain't ever doing this again, right? I mean, I don't care how many calls. I mean, that's where they got that thing inside of them that made the decision, I will go do whatever I have to do. I will go listen to the audios. I will attend the Zooms. I will keep talking to people. You guys heard Paul and Donna Scales last week. Their biggest leg quit. Their 2-star director quit. And their big leg became their weak leg. And Paul says, I don't care if I have to go put in all 188 myself. It was that moment of decision, right? That's when he actually became an ambassador. I realized he became an ambassador last week. No, he actually became an ambassador. The moment he made that statement, he became an ambassador up here. The moment he knew, I don't care how many people quit, I will keep doing it and 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 doing it. That was the moment he did it. And many people in life, guys, it's that moment that Daryl just said of decision when you decide, I will do whatever it takes. But guys, to give you some updated numbers, we keep talking about the travel industry being the largest industry in the world. It is a $10 trillion industry. Well, what does that mean? Well, sometimes you got to put these things in context. So we all know there's huge money in gas and oil. And the gas and oil industry does $4.8 trillion a year. Huge. We all know there's huge money in gas and oil. And you guys see it on our slides, but travel's 10 trillion, twice as big. Guys, those slides were done 6 months ago, and that number is now outdated. Travel is now a 10.9 trillion, about to cross over 11 trillion. It is outpacing itself. We told you that Bloomberg Finance predicts that by the year 2035, that travel will be a 15.5 trillion. They are now saying 16.5 trillion. They have upped their estimate by an entire $1 trillion. So guys, travel is going from 10 trillion to 16.5 trillion. It's going to grow by 6.5 trillion, okay, in just the coming years. Guys, oil only does 4.8 trillion. Travel is going to grow by more money in the next 9 years than the entire oil industry even does. Now, how about the direct selling industry? It is now officially crossed over 200 billion. We are now officially over 200 billion a year. It grows at a rate of 6.5% per year. That means in the next 10 years, the network marketing industry will double in size and become a $398 billion industry. So network marketing is going to double in size in the next 10 years. Well, guys, if you pull out your calculator, there's roughly 125 million participants in the network marketing industry. Well, guys, if it doubles in size in the next 10 years, you're talking about 12 million people a year joining the network marketing industry. If you then do the math on that and you say, well, that's roughly 34,000 people a day. 34,000 people a day are looking for a way to make extra money and choosing the direct sales industry. Guys, this is just in the next 10 years, our industry will double. In the next 10 years, the travel industry will grow by leaps and bounds. And some of you don't even realize that you're in the right place at the right time. And that's a big part of it, right? It's so easy to think, oh, well, there's great opportunities like Travorium everywhere. Sometimes you have to go out there and get beat up like a Daryl Maria Roberts, get beat up like a Todd and Gina, get beat up like a Coach D. You have to kind of be around for a while to realize not everybody pays you every week. What do you mean they don't pay me every week? Yeah, there's companies that you do the work, but they don't pay you, or they don't pay you on time, or they went and wasted the money, or when the things started going up, they got a huge ego, big head, and next thing you know, it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And we see that happen to a lot of, we think about the bands and the movie stars, the fame starts to come, and the next thing you know, they're on drugs and doing different things, and just, guys, that stuff goes on. You have to have a principle-centered leader. So when you look at Daryl, or when you look at David Menadella Hart, right? They're doing Bible study in their home. David's been a guy who's had success. He's had money, proving he can handle money. He can handle success. He doesn't, go out and do all those crazy things, right? I got a great family, 7 kids, thinking about legacy, doing the right things, always putting money away, building a war chest, paying cash for everything, pay cash as you go. That's not how it goes on in most places, right? That's that solid foundation that we have. We're building on a rock, right? That we're building something that's going to last. We've taken the most conservative approach and some of the regulatory type things. Guys, if some of you, if you've been around here for a while and you've signed people up and the person goes into the system and next thing you know, the company's refunding your person saying, hey, whoa, we're giving them all their money back. Well, why? Well, it didn't come in completely correct. Guys, most companies, they would just take the money and run, right? That's okay. Don't worry about it. Not Dave Hart. Hey, guys, if it doesn't come in the right way, if all the stuff doesn't match, the name, the address, the ISP address, we don't want the business. Not all business is good business. Why? We are maintaining our relationship with the merchant account. We're making sure that all of the volume we bring in is correct, that the people are who they say they are. That's why we do that authorization. When you first join, you got to take a picture of your ID, take a picture of yourself, right? It's called, KYC, know your customer. Guys, hardly any other company is doing that. We are ahead of the curve. That's the direction lots of things are going. We're doing things above and beyond reproach. And that's how you stick around for 50, 60, 70 years. And it's not about how fast you get there. It's about how long you keep getting paid. It's about that legacy. And I think I shared with all of you guys last week, but we have another legacy family. You guys know that, Tatiana Zealand, she's a 3-star ambassador. Her husband's almost a 1-star ambassador. Her daughter's a 4-star director. Her son, Austin, who's been on the front cover of Forbes magazine, is building the business and just brought in a huge guy. In fact, you happen to know him, Daryl, well. And so some great things are going on. Their mother was in the business, Ludmila. And Ludmila, traveled with the family, helping take care of the kids, the grandkids. This was the family business. They were hanging out together. And guys, when you think about Austin being on the front cover of Forbes magazine, he grew up in this industry. He grew up watching his mom and dad go to the events, just like Daryl and Maria's kids, amazing kids. Grew up watching their mom and dad listen to Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins and going to the events and thinking bigger, right? The book Magic of Thinking Big and Think and Grow Rich. They were brought up with a different mindset. So when you see Austin today on the front cover of Forbes and doing incredible things, he was a product of this industry. And now he's actually engaged in the industry. And this is that thing that people say, oh, don't bring that near me. Yeah, I wouldn't want my kid to be on the front cover of Forbes. What an awful thing. Guys, but anyway, go back to her. So it's the family business. Well, Ludmila was a 3-star director, guys, and then she's our second legacy family. Tatiana's mom unexpectedly, passed away. And it was last Friday that she was a 3-star director when she died. But last Friday, guys, she became an ambassador. So she went from making $3,000 to $4,000 a month when she died to making $10,000 a month 8 months after she died. She's taking care of her family from heaven, just like Guy Taylor. Now Ludmila, that money keeps coming in, that money keeps growing, and that family, right? Guys, this is the model that people are going to have to subscribe to if you want to make it in this new economy. And that's not me saying that. That's Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. That's, obviously Warren Buffett. Unless you find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until the day you die. This is those guys, prognosticating where we're at and the things you need to do to survive in the new economy. And most of you already know it. You already know it. because it used to be one person working could provide for a great family. Then that became two people. Now you got mom and dad working full time. And how many people do we know driving Uber, driving Lyft, doing DoorDash, Instacart, Airbnb, TikTok videos, YouTube videos, eBay, the greeter at Walmart at age 80. I mean, do you think they want to be greeting at age 80 at Walmart? Is because they don't have enough money. They're having to do all these crazy things. We're seeing the multi-generational home where you got grandma, mom, and kids, I mean adult kids, all living in the same house. Why? Because they can't afford a mortgage payment. You got the big debate in Congress. Should we bail out all these kids? They're graduating college, can't even pay back the student loans, can't buy a house, living in their parents' basements with a master's degree. And you guys think this is working. I mean, guys, that's that whole, I mean, hello, it's like, wake up. I mean, it is not working. And so we're bringing that new model. We're ushering in this incredible model, an industry that's going to double in the next 10 years, the largest industry in the world, the one thing everybody wants to do. And guys, there is nobody, let me say that again, nobody doing what we're doing in the travel space. Nobody has the trips like we have to Dubai and to Thailand, the JW Marriott, right? And to Vail, Colorado, the Grand Hyatt. And we're recording now, so I can't say the prices, but you guys all know, you've been back there, you're seeing like those people going for nothing, right? We got Paul and Donna Scales and Dr. Phyllis Terry at the Ritz-Carlton in Qatar right now, voted one of the nicest hotels in the world. And they are there for less money than I used to pay at the Motel 6. All right, I mean, guys, I mean, we are doing things in travel that have never been done before. Now, yes, there are a lot of people that are closed-minded. Yes, there's a lot of people that just aren't ready. They're just not, ready today. Yes, you got to go through a lot of people to find a Daryl Roberts, to find a Gary Thompson, to find a Marlene, to find a Paul and Donna Scales, to find a Keith Brown, to find a Ambassador Deborah Taylor, a Cynthia Sly, to find a Jeremy and Sarah Pease, to find a Tatiana, to find a, whoever that leader might be. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. That's still true. But if you'll go through the numbers, right, you just flipping cards, kissing frogs, right, you are going to find those people who are willing to do whatever it takes for however long it takes. So with that, Daryl, I'm going to throw this back over to you. I know we got some special guests here today. We got Marlene, we got Gary Thompson. And guys, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to you guys, because at least for Marlene, it's out there in Orlando, Florida. Hey, I want to welcome you guys here to Todd. I just call it the podcast, and want to thank you guys for joining us today. Lots of great things going. Marlene, I'm going to save you for a second. Gary's about 30 minutes away from his game. His son is going to be playing games. So, guys, he can still get on a Zoom, empower, impact people's lives, and still get a chance to watch Cal, kick butt, whoop some butt here in soccer here in another about 30, 40 minutes or so. So, guys, welcome to the broadcast. Gary, the one thing I tell people about you all the time is just how you're such a tactician. And I know you have an engineer background, and how you organize your team, and how you know where this is, where that is, where this person is, where that person is, et cetera. What you need to do to hit the next rank, and the processes that you're putting together to make it happen. How you even thinking about Orlando now? You've got a certain number of people. You're growing that. But Gary, I just want you to come on and share your story a little bit about some of the things that you've done and why you're so pumped up, excited. First of all, two questions. Number one, how did you find out about Travorium? And number two, why did you say yes? Let's start with those two questions and kind of go into some of the information you want to share with all of us today.
Well, how I got started with Travorium, I got a call from a friend. And this friend said, man, we're launching something big, man. We got something. You got to take a look at this. I'm like, all right, Daryl, man, what are you doing? He says, man, if I send you some information, will you take a look? So Daryl, for you guys that don't know, Daryl Maria, my sponsor, I've known them for over 30 years, but we've always been on the other side of the industry. I've always been in the health and wellness industry, trying the products out, and I love that industry. But Daryl and Maria came to me with this opportunity in travel, and it made sense for me at this time in my life. So why did I say yes? Well, I wanted something digital. I wanted something that if I shared it with you today, you can get started today. Nothing against the health and wellness, skincare, any of that, but I didn't have to ship any product. I wanted to be total digital. You like it? Let's join. Let's get started. So That's why how I got started, and that's why I love the opportunity here. But as you're here, obviously my story continues to change and evolve. So I want to stay on point and answer that question.
Yeah. Well, Gary, again, what are some of the things that you're doing to grow your business? You got a team that's growing. They're showing up. I remember a year ago or so when you had one or two or three people show up at the conference. Each time you've gone to a conference has grown. The numbers are getting bigger and bigger. And this by far will be the biggest one coming up here in February. And these are things we talk about and discuss all the time. We don't wait till December 31st or January 15th. Oh, who's coming to the conference? It's plotting and planning right now. So, Gary, let's just talk a little bit about the upcoming conference. And I know you put together a couple of things you wanted to share that I think would impact people's lives. So go right into that information this morning, buddy.
Well, for me, and we got really great leadership and training here, right? So everybody has a viewpoint on how to build your business, but when you're really in the trenches with your team, you kind of understand what your team needs, right? I went into this year looking at the numbers, my engineering background. I'm looking at the numbers. How come we're not experiencing growth that I thought we should? I mean, we had people going to OG University once, twice. They're going to events. And I said, how can I be a better leader going into 2025? Because I view this year as my run to ambassador. In order to do that, I had to become a better leader and really assess what's going on. And fortunately, we had a lot of people that were plugged in, but they were plugged into training. And I said, okay, guys, we have to get more in production mode. So going into this year was all about production. Now, I didn't tell them you don't need any more training. You don't need to get on any more Saturday training. I said, it's time to get some receipts for the work that you've been putting in. You've been traveling across country, been going to these events, and kind of realizing that there are expectations for what you're doing because people are watching. There's other people watching your business. And if you don't have anything to show for it, it's like, okay, I'm glad I didn't join because you've been in a year, you haven't traveled anywhere, you haven't seen any results. So going into this year, I said, okay, how can I lead better in the way of getting production? So we actually started a team call, to kind of bring us together as a team and start sharing little wins, right? No one was having rocket, what am I trying to say? Nobody was like blowing it off the wall, including myself. But we put together a team, Telegram, so we can share little wins because I understood that it's all about getting people to the next level, getting people to stay around another 30, 60, 90 days for things to show up. And I believe what's happening now post last event, some of the new people that went, they're now starting to get it. They're starting to sponsor. And I put together this fun, I won't really call it a challenge, but I call it get on the board, meaning that I want everyone to get at least one person a month because there's people here, and I know we all got stuff going on, but in my mind, the expectation, if you've been here 3 months, 6 months, a year, and you haven't sponsored anyone, let's talk. Let's figure out what's going on. We already know what's going on. You're not talking to enough people. I mean, you could just mess up your approach, mess up everything, but you're going to sponsor someone, right? But to go 3-6 months and haven't sponsored anyone, as a leader, I say, okay, how can I help them? Number one thing is start expecting results in your business. Start expecting you to show up. And how I utilize the events, it's all about creating the confidence. Well, how do you get the confidence when you don't have it or where you feel you're stuck? Well, you got to create a new image for yourself. I talk about the image maker. I learned that from my mentor, one of my mentors, Bob Proctor. How do you see yourself? Well, I shared that same information with my son. How do you see yourself? He came to me a few years ago, Dad, I want to go pro in soccer. And I'm like, okay. I didn't tell him you can't go pro. I said, well, the first thing is we got to sign you up. Well, fast forward, everything that we do is based on him going pro. So that means how you approach the game, putting in the time, and now he's getting the results. We're actually at a game right now where he was called up to play with an older team to start in this position. Well, that wasn't luck. That was by getting an image of himself. And how did he get the image? I videotaped him training. I videotaped his games. We looked at his games. I said, you look like this guy. That's a pro player. He's like, no. And I said, look at your video. Well, how we apply that to this business, what is your image of yourself? What is the image of your team? How do you get that? If you're stuck, how do you get unstuck? Well, events are the great way. And I got an aha moment from a gentleman on our team, Carlos Craighead. He couldn't make it to Las Vegas. He said, hey, man, we couldn't make it to Las Vegas, but we're moving our team to the world tour. I think it's in New Orleans. And I said, brilliant. It finally went off. My awareness kicked in that, yeah, for whatever reason, sometimes people can't make the events. David Hart and the staff put together a phenomenal concept, having these ambassadors at all these world tours, because you can get 2 for 1. You can get someone to take a trip, and second, they can get some training and get around other people. Why? So they can create that new self-image of themselves, because they're going to go there. They're going to be in a moment. They're going to see a little something in someone else that say, you know what, I can do this. So how we look at events, they're key to your business. These world tours can be a launch pad for you, one, to take a trip, and number 2, build that self-image. Because what happens with the self-image, I go back to my son. I tell him, you're a leader. He said, Dad, how am I a leader? I said, because you show up, you put in the time. You're out at 6 o'clock in the morning where the dew is out. We're out here practicing. Well, guess what? His self-image is growing. Now his confidence is growing. Guess what? People around him recognize his confidence. Well, when you get your image up about yourself, your team, your confidence grows. Guess what? When you're on the phone with people, your confidence comes across the phone. People want to be with people that are winning, not hoping and wishing. They're like, oh, this guy's going. I did a 3-way call just the other day, and a guy said, sharp guy, he said, yeah, I watched the video. This sounds like one of those pyramid things. And, you know, and I said, I don't get it. I don't understand. What do you mean? And the conversation just kept going. He says, well, one of those. I said, oh, no, I wouldn't waste your time or my time on something like that. This is a 13-year-old company. I'm on my way to create a 6-figure income, leave a legacy to my company. I didn't even go on, well, you know, the CEO and the church. And I just said, I almost made him feel like he offended me, because my confidence is so strong in this company. And how could it not? We got great leadership. We got great corporate staff. We don't talk enough about them. We have great leadership in David and Della Hart. Everything is here for you to win, right? So once you get out of the way and realize that, okay, why am I not having this? It's your self-image. It's how you see yourself. You have to see yourself winning. I tell my son, when you step on that field, you got to tell yourself nobody can stop you. They can slow you down, but they can't stop you. Why? Because you're putting in the work. So when you show up, have fun, flow. Don't even trip on the game. Go have a good time. That's how we can be here with our company. If you feel stuck, start looking at how you see yourself. Fix that, because if you don't fix it, it's like having an X on a sheet of paper and you keep running the same copy machine. You keep pushing a button on the copy, it's going to still be an X. You can go to all the training in the world, but if you don't change your self-image to now get that internalized, to change your confidence, you're just going to keep hitting that. And you'll just keep going. You'll be a professional event coordinator. You'll go to all the events. You have a great time. I feel personally, all the people that I enrolled, I now expect them, just like I expect my son to score. And now he expects himself to score, because that is his position. I said, son, you're a striker. Strikers strike. You need to strike. We need to work and make you score. So the people I personally sponsored, I feel in my mind, we should sponsor at least one person a month. I mean, one a month, period. I mean, that's not a lot to ask for. If you've been here 3 to 6 months, and I know some of them are on here, that's why we have the board. Let's get on the board. I want to help them. And last, go back to your list. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a calling party and say, man, let's go back. because I know for a fact follow-up is a challenge for some people. And I know that's a challenge within our group. I say, you can't talk to 5, 10, 12 people and not get one. So I probably went off script a little bit, but my whole thing is you have to change that self-image. And how do you do that? To get around events, calls like this, but also expect success for your business. If you don't expect it, no one else will. So I'll give it back to you, Daryl.
Wow.
It's a great quote, Gary. You don't always get what you want, but you tend to get what you expect, right?
Yes, sir.
Bill Parcells, the great football coach, first thing he showed up when he take over a new team, it gets your expectation levels up. I mean, getting expectation levels up, expecting your team to win, expecting your team to produce, bringing your team together to celebrate the little things. You did it on Telegram, to celebrate the little things. I mean, all these things that you're sharing, Gary, I mean, this is incredible. The image of yourself. I mean, I got all kinds of notes, right? But I mean, what a great training you just did this morning, Gary Thompson, and how you get your team going again. And it's just getting them around. I mean, you can only expand the vision of your own team so far. That's why the events are so huge. And you just pointed out, okay, maybe they didn't make the national event for whatever reason, but man, let me get you to a world tour where there's going to be an ambassador, right? It's not a huge event, but it's still a significant event where there's going to be a new leader there that can help expand their vision, expand their image, expand their expectation of what can be done, what should be done. And I love hey, guys, one person a month at a minimum. And that's why when you see some of the different qualifications with our bonuses,
yes,
we ask for one person per month. Guys, that's not to punish you. It's to get the rhythm of what you should be doing in the business, right? I mean, if you go get 3 people in your first 30 days, and then you make 1 sale a month, you get that extra $100 as a 1-star director. But if you don't make the 1 sale, you don't get the 100. It's not to punish you. You still get the daily pay, right? You're still making phenomenal money. Guys, in most companies, 600 left, 600 right, you're a 1-star director, that's your volume, 600 left, 600 right. Most companies pay you $60 a month. We're paying you $10 a day. I mean, you're already $300 a month, plus direct sales bonuses, plus leadership bonuses. You might be $400 or $500 a month versus 60, and then there's this extra 100 you can get as well. The 100 is meant to be a carrot to produce the correct activities, which is what Gary's talking about. You would hear Mr. David Hart talk about that. It's to get you guys every month. You got to be bringing in somebody new into your business, right? It's not to punish you. It's to set up the correct habits. But man, Gary, I mean, I got pages of notes, guys. Hope you guys got the same thing. Back to you, Daryl.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff, Gary. You know, at the conference, we talked about, again, the confidence. You got to have confidence. If you have confidence, you're going to do what? You're going to take some action. And if you take some action, you're going to get results. And then if you get results, what are you going to do? You're going to get more confidence. You're going to take more action. You're going to get more results. But it all happens. All of that doesn't happen unless you have skill set, unless you learn the thing. You just talked about Cal. The reason Cal got confidence is that you guys are up 6 o'clock in the morning. You said the dew was on the ground and you're out there doing the drills. You're doing the do to make the business work. In this case, it'd be, to get better. So as his confidence improved, you were drilling. I was just talking to Maria this week, even though we had an amazing time, guys, we're still doing calls, Zooms, and all of that stuff. We've already increased the number of trainings that we're actually doing. And the other thing that we want to increase here, we just talked about it, is even doing more one-on-one with brand new people in drilling. The actual word was drill. We need to drill with people on what to say, how to say it, make sure they're taking the trips, plugging people in to doing the right things. But guys, your confidence is going to come by you learning the skill sets of recruiting people, putting your list together, being confident, talking to people, doing the drilling. And that's what I love when one of the things you said, so many different things that you talked about, but they expect the right results. Look in the mirror. What is your image of yourself? And if your image is poor, you need to get together with a leader and start working on that image. And how are you going to do that? Work on the skill sets, because once you get confidence, nothing is going to stop you. When that guy talked to Gary about being a pyramid, because Gary's confidence is so here, hey, you're offending me, guy. You got to be freaking kidding me. Are you talking about? Gary didn't go tit for tat. Gary just set him straight, and he did it in a powerful way. Hopefully you guys got that. If not, you want to come back and watch this video again. But how is your self-image? Do you see yourself as a leader today? Do you see yourself as successful? And guys, you have to see it in that mind's eye even before it happened. You know, being in the situation we're in right now, guys, it wasn't just something that happened by accident. We dreamt about this. We visualized this. We forecasted this. We saw this situation happen before, and we knew there was going to be a struggle. We knew we were going to fail forward. We knew we were going to have issues and obstacles and all of those things. And the reason we were prepared to go through that is because of the books we read. Some of you guys missed it. I said at the beginning here, I was just listening to a lady by the name of Mel, and that's how I know her, Mel. My daughter is in the room here with us. She looked at me, she said, "Do you mean Mel Roberts or Mel Robbins?" How does she know the name? Austin was one of the ones in the car when we were when she was growing up that we weren't listening to Blue's Clues, guys. You know, we weren't listening to Sesame Street and all of those things. We were listening to Jim Rohn. We were listening to Les Brown. We were listening to Zig Ziglar. We were listening. They were hearing these things. So now she listens to Mel Robbins. I didn't know that particular, but now I know that lady is unbelievable. Anybody that listens to her, you're going to be getting up and doing what you need to do. How many of you know Mel Robbins, and she's got the 5-second rule? And that's what happened to her. She was stuck in depression. She was stuck in alcoholism. She was stuck in her life, $800,000 in debt. And then she came up with the 5-second rule: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when she got to 1, whatever she wanted to do, she started doing it. And that was getting out of the bed, doing what she needed to do, reading the books, doing all the things. And now she's one of the most successful speakers, trainers, motivators, coaches on the planet today. So Gary, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm sure Cal's going to get a couple of goes today as well.
Yeah, one final thing that Gary talked about. So he talked about, Cal, you're a leader, right? You're a leader. And how am I a leader? Guys, leadership begins up here. Leader, leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. Say that again. Leader of one, leader of many. You can't lead one yourself, you can't lead any. It all begins with you, right? Are you up doing the things you're supposed to do? Are you a leader? And guys, you are a leader. Danny did that whole training at the conference, right? Pull out your phone. I am a leader in Chavorin. If you want to make some money, call me, right? But start thinking of yourself as a leader. Start seeing yourself as a leader. Start acting as a leader. Get involved in whatever Zooms your leaders are doing. Start taking a role so that other people start seeing you as a leader. But then you'll start feeling like a leader. You start building the confidence, I am a leader. You start acting like a leader. And before you know it, you start earning like a leader. But Gary, great talking.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Skill set, guys. Get the skills.
When I leave here, I'm encouraging people on the team to start presenting. I said, you want to start presenting the information yourself. Pull out the PowerPoint, start presenting. I have a gentleman on the team, Ashton McCullen. He's going to start presenting. He got his own Zoom set up because it's all about leadership, and people are ready at different levels. I put it out to him. I said, but once you start presenting, the business really becomes your business. I said, we got great trainers and everything, but what if the internet went black one day, right? Daryl and Maria weren't doing their Zoom, or Todd or other leaders. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to be able to present. And when you present the information, you just can articulate it in a different way. And again, it builds confidence, self-image, and people will be attracted to that. So I'm going to go get a seat here and watch my son. Appreciate the time, Daryl. Anytime I can show up and help out, I'm here. So I'm going to keep listening, but I'm going to sign off here on video. Thank you, guys.
He's on track for ambassador this year. That's the goal. Unbelievable segment. Always love hearing from Gary. Everybody always says, man, he was so good. The information he disseminated. And Gary, you didn't let us down again today. Positive, powerful information that will impact other people.
The thing I love about Gary too, by the way, because some people, they're a barn burner and they take off, their team explodes, right? But guys, that's not the typical experience that most people have, right? I mean, there's 4 aces in every deck of cards, and every once in a while someone gets blackjack right out of the gate. That's not been my experience. I gotta sit there for like an hour. I mean, it's just like how many cards we gotta go through. But guys, they're out there. But Gary just keeps doing it, and he keeps rank advancing, right? So sometimes, slow and steady, builds that foundation. Slow and steady makes you appreciate where you're going. Sometimes, things don't happen to us, they happen for us. But I know we have another great guest, so Daryl, I'll let you introduce Ms. Marlene.
Well, this lady, Marlene, guys, she is a very, very special lady. We've known Marlene for over 30 years in this industry. We just become great friends. And I'm so thankful Maria contacted Marlene and invited her. I let Marlene tell that story here in just a couple of seconds. But Marlene, guys, has 53 years as a travel agent. Guys, she is a real certified guru travel agent, not with the direct sales or network marketing company. She's been a specialist. She can call different cruise line and they'll know who she is because of all the business that she's brought to the cruise line. So she has every certification in the world, gets them every single year. She is a bona fide expert when it comes to the travel. I'll give you guys one example. She has, all types of customers, but she has very high-end luxury customers as well. There's something called the Disney Adventure where you get, for two people, you get a private jet, you get a private chef. They'll fly you to every Disneyland in the world, and you stay at a top shelf 5-star hotel for 4 days at each one of those locations. And it's $269,000. She has customers just like that. So Marlene, hey, everybody's been talking about you and they wanted to really get a chance to meet you. Why would someone of your stature in the travel industry take advantage of this company called Travorium?
Well, thank you, Daryl and Todd, for having me on. And good morning from the Sunshine State of Florida, and good afternoon in Europe to those of you who are tuning in from Europe. I know what it's like to get up in the middle of the night to listen to a presentation, and I am very committed always, wherever I'm in the world, to doing that. And Gary, listening to you, I got such wonderful insight and tips and things that I have forgotten about, and you reminded me about. And Todd, for you, thank you for talking about this company as a legacy company, because we tend to forget that wealthy people, their grandchildren know who they are. Why? Because they have a legacy company that they have left to the family, and that's why they know them. Those of us run-of-the-mill people who are not building legacy companies, you ask their grandchildren about who their grandparents are, and they say, oh, I don't know, I think they were originally from, and whatever they say. So I treat this as a legacy company, and I also treat this as the multi-trillion-dollar business that I'm in, because my Travorium business is part of that industry. So why am I treating it like the $99.99 that it costs me to actually become a partner? Because people think of it as $370, but really it's $99 that this company charges for us to have the pleasure of building a legacy company. Guys, I want you to think about that. It's not $15,000 that we pay for a travel company when we set up what we call a franchise. $15,000, $20,000 for a franchise, and then $700 or $800 a month to pay them for doing our bookkeeping and things and not giving us any referrals. So Gary, to you, I want to say that advice of one a month, I haven't actually thought about it. Because if you are talking to people at all, you must be keeping this a secret if you cannot at least recommend and sponsor one member into this company per month. One, that is, you are not talking to anyone. Anyhow, how did I get introduced to Travorium? Like Gary, my very dear friends, well, Maria actually called up and she said to me, and these were the words, I need my travel guru. That's what she said to me. And I said, Maria, why would you need me for what? She said, I need you to take a look at this thing. I think you're going to be very impressed. And I said, Maria, after all these years in the industry and everybody coming to me with everything because they believe that, yes, I am credible, I have credibility in the industry, that I would take a look. I said, why do you think that this is going to give me anything that I don't know about? And she said, just trust me and take a look. It won't cost you anything to take a look. Just take a look. Hop on the live Zoom. And I did, as a polite gesture to my dear friend Maria, knowing that whatever she had to show me, I was going to politely decline to join because I didn't need it. And wow, about 10, 15 minutes into the presentation, I panicked because I saw something that Travorium was doing that I had never seen in the industry before. First of all, now I'm going to get paid every time a member joins, and then you're going to pay me residual income, and you're offering prices that not even I can get as a travel agent, as an insider. You have got to be kidding me. I know I'm going to go out of business sooner rather than later, so I better join this company, because if I can't beat their rates, then I have got to join them and at least get my people on here before somebody else gets them. That was a business decision, not an emotional decision. I knew this is where I had to be. And when people talk to me about this being a pyramid, I look at them and I think, obviously, you don't know what a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking to me, somebody who has credibility in the industry, thinking that I would align my company with the reputation I have to something that is a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. I am insulted. I am highly offended that you would think of that as such. And you could not be a friend of mine, because I would not be putting my friends and my travel clients, who many of them are in Travorium, into something that was going to go out of business soon or is a Ponzi scheme. So that is not even a negotiable or a discussion for me. Over the years that I've been alive, and that's many, there are many things that I have learned. However, there are two very important things that I keep in my mind all the time. Number one, you have to know that there are only two ways of doing something in life. My father always said that. There is the right way and the wrong way. There is no in between. There is no gray area. It's either right or it's wrong. And the second thing is, do it right, do it now, do it right now. So when I woke up one morning and realized that I needed to get busy this month because I had a goal in mind, I scheduled a time that I was going to devote to making this happen, even if I was going to do it on my own. With no help from the rest of the team, I was going to achieve this. And I put it out there in the universe, and I said to Daryl, that's it, Daryl, I am doing this. I don't care how it happens, but I'm doing it. I'm going to put the hours in. If I don't sleep for the next 30 days, I don't need sleep. I'll have enough time to sleep when I die. So that's not even part of the negotiation. And that's what I did. And so far, I am halfway to achieving what I need to do by the 31st of August. So I know this works. You have to be accountable to yourself and to others. I'm accountable to Daryl and Maria, for sure. I keep in touch with them. I know their presentations by heart. I can do it in my sleep. Yet I show up to those presentations whether I have a guest on board or not. Wherever I am in the world, if I'm on a ship, if I'm 6 hours ahead, whichever time zone I am, and Daryl, you know, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in the UK, I'm on with you. If you need me, I am there, wide awake and alive to give that backup for my company that I treat very, very seriously. So really, that's all I have to say about this. The hearts, and going back to Todd, when, people get into companies that are not paying them regularly, or all of a sudden they go out of business. One of the most important things in network marketing as well is when those company leaders, the owners, get too greedy. They start adjusting the compensation plan. They start taking more for themselves and whatever, and then everything goes to pot. We don't have that here. We have leaders who actually have set up a company that is, I can't even begin to tell you how I feel about this company because they are generous in the compensation plan, which means they're not greedy. They pay out a lot to the field. And then when people tell me about, oh, but you can get these rates at ID 90, everybody in the travel industry is with ID 90. And I turn around and say to them, you know, you may get rates that are similar for ID 90 because they are giving you 90% of their commission back and keeping 10 for themselves. Have they ever paid you for anyone you referred, for the hundreds of people that you referred to them? Do they ever pay you when these people book over and over again? Don't talk to me about ID 90. Just talk to me about your family and what you want to leave for them. ID 90 is not doing that for you.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
Well, Marlene,
Excited to be here.
Yeah, we are so fortunate, and not only just us in our group, but so many people get on our Zooms just to even hear you with your credibility, because we have a couple of videos we play when you're not live with us, and even when you're live, but we play the video sometimes as well. But guys, tonight, this afternoon, we're going to have Marlene live as well to do a testimonial. But I just want to unpack one thing real quick. When you found out the position you're at and how close you were to getting to that next position, kind of has a 2 in front of it. You put the full court press on, guys. I don't know if you want to say what you told your husband that day, and I know you were kind of joking with me, but tell us about that one day, guys. This lady made a decision. So many people are hitting positions, and a few people away from going positions, etc., and they just kind of go through the motion. This lady is flat out morning, noon, and night. I've got to get this done. If no one helps me, I don't care. I'm getting this done. Same like the Paul Scales of attitude as well. But I was cracking up when you told me a couple of last week what you told your husband, Ivan. Ivan's 80 years old, guys. He looks like he's probably 59 or something like that. He's so lucid, and Marlene's going to disagree with me, but this dude is just an amazing, smart, intellectual individual. And but tell me what you tell that story. I was cracking up still today.
I was in the middle of making a list of the people who I needed to actually get to first before I started getting to just out there to everyone else. And he came in and asked me to do something. I said, please go outside, shut that door behind you. I have no time to talk to you because I'm on a mission. I have got to get this thing done, and I have no time to talk to you about this. And I then texted Darren and said, I have just told my husband that I have no time to talk to him. So you don't message me either because I don't have time to talk to you.
Unbelievable. Todd, I would throw it over to you because we get to talk almost every day, if not every day, every couple of days. But I think for the most part, it's almost every day that we're talking in business, and she's asking questions, and I'm even asking her questions as well. But Todd, Marlene is very, very special.
Oh, I mean, guys, unbelievable. I mean, guys, this is on Facebook, and we need to extrapolate what the part that Marlene just did. I mean, we need that to be, all on its own. I wish we had the regular record button hitting too, guys. But hey, just so you guys know, in 2 hours, Daryl and Marie are going to be doing a Zoom presentation, and Marlene's going to guest. How many of you, hearing what she just said, knowing she is an absolute travel guru, 53 years in the travel space, she's putting her travel clients in it. She saw something she'd never seen before. She's excited. And how many of you like your best prospects to hear from Marlene? There's like about 5 or 10 of you. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, guys, unbelievable. I mean, where do you even begin with this? I love how she talked about it being a multi-trillion-dollar business, right, guys? The travel industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, but you get to join for $99. And are you going to treat it like a $1 trillion business, or are you going to treat it like you paid $99? And, your answer, your destiny lies in your answer. Thank you, John Marie Roberts, right? I mean, it's which of those two? If I treat it like a multi-trillion-dollar industry and business that it is, guess what's going to happen? But if I treat it as just this thing, $99, then guess what's going to happen? I love that you shared the invite from Maria. I need my travel guru, right? Just trust me and take a look. It costs you nothing to look. So Marie didn't start breaking down and trying to explain it and tell and sell. And She just did the invite and said, look, just trust me. Would you do me a favor? Just hop on and give me your candid feedback. Would you do that for me? Would you just take a look? It costs you nothing. Guys, you're in the business of selling. Take a look. I mean, guys, you're not here to explain it. You're not here to sell. Then I love what she said, by the way, there's two ways of doing things in life. This is the advice from your father, the right way or the wrong way. And then guys, do it right, do it now, do it right now. I mean, what a nice play on words. That was incredible. She talked about the legacy company. I love the fact that she talked about her commitment. She shows up to Dale Maria Roberts Zooms anywhere in the world. I mean, in the middle of the night, getting up to watch a presentation. I noticed right out of the gate, she said hi to everybody and then to the people in Europe, knowing she knows what time it is in Europe. She knows what time it is around the world. I mean, guys, you'll start picking up on time zones as you travel the world, as you end up with teams in other part of the world. You become conscious of not just your time zone, but other time zones. But no matter where she's at, she knows their presentation by heart, but yet she's committed. She's still there. She's a participant in those presentations, and you wonder why she's having success. But I mean, Marlene, again, your talk right now, I mean, was just so unbelievable. I'm like, man, how do we get that on video and put that right on the company site? It was incredible. So thank you for coming on and sharing, and thank you for being who you are.
Yeah, we're definitely going to give her, have to hook her up with Troy one of these days, because again, that is powerful with her background being in the industry. And guys, just that in closing here, and I want to show you guys a picture in a second, but in closing here, when you think about it, I talked last week about the golden window. We are in that golden window. And I was just thinking at that time, when I said that last week, it was just where the company is today and the history of where we were and where we are now, and what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the golden window of opportunity for people that want to go from zero to hero. But then when Todd put in perspective today too, when we talked about the travel industry, not only is our company going to another level, Bloomberg just projected another $1 trillion. Guess what? In the next 5 years. So you've got our company putting everything together, doing it the correct way, hiring the correct people, getting all the things that we need to go, and the momentum is just building at a feverish pace. And then you take a look at the travel industry, where it is today and where it's going. Guys, that is a golden window of opportunity. So if you guys understand what I'm trying to articulate here, this is where you need to put your time and energy in. Learn the simple skill sets of inviting people. Learn the skill sets of working on an active list. Not one time you put the 5 or 10 names down you think are going to do this, but you constantly activate your list. You're actively adding new people to that list. And learn the simple invite. We've gave you a couple of examples today. It's not that complicated. Here's the challenges, guys. You are going to run into people that are going to say no. They don't even know why they say no. They're just saying no because that's how they're taught to say no. So you're going to get people that say no to you. I want you to understand that. That is part of the game. Secondly, following up with people. Most people are not going to sign up on that first opportunity time. Again, there are a few of you that did that, but most people aren't going to do that. You're going to have to touch them a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, or seventh time. Not everybody's like Marlene. She had no intention of signing up. She signed up as soon as she saw the presentation. She's an anomaly. There are a small percentage of people that do that. So I want you to know you can become successful here, but you're going to have to go through the challenges. You're going to have to go through the obstacles. You're going to talk to 5 people, and is that going to determine your success or not? Absolutely not. Whether they all sign up or whether they all say no. Your success is going to be determined what you do consistently over the next 3, 4, and 5 years. And I promise you guys come up with to me at a conference in 5 years from now, you're going to say, Daryl, I was on that call. I understood the golden window of opportunity. I went to work. And because of that, guys, I'm an executive chairman of the company. That's what's at stake right now. And I hope we say it in a way that you really understand it, no matter what issues and challenges and things that you go through. It's in your hands, and we're going to try and do our best to give you what you guys need. But Marlene, you're just the most amazing lady I know. You've got more energy than me and most people out there. I don't know how you do it, but it's because of your passion. And I'm betting that you're going to hit that rank by the 31st. There's no question about it. And if we need to do 5 or 10 Zooms a day to make that happen, consider it done.
Can I just say something quickly before you close out this
No,
session?
go right ahead.
Talk
Take your
about
time.
being an anomaly, and you know very much. I put somebody on a Zoom a day ago, yesterday, whatever it was, high-end realtor. She's in Utah, and she lived in Italy for many years and had a travel business, high-end travel business in Italy. I put her on the Zoom. I then three-way Daryl in, and I said, Daryl, be the first person to welcome her to the team. We got off the phone and she said, okay, so now tell me what I need to do to get. I said, I'm going to send you the link. You sign up, call me when you've done it, and I will do you through the Know Your Client verification so that in the 7 days you're good to go. And she said, that's great. And that was it. First time she saw it, she got it. In the business for 12 years in Europe. She has people in Europe calling her, wanting to do travel. This is the way she's going. So I just wanted to make that very clear that when we know something, we know it.
Yeah, this lady was amazing. She says, I know tons of people all over the world. So yes, there are people that are going to sign up and get it immediately, like her and Marlene. But guys, you just got to stay in it for the long term. And I'll close it this way, Todd, and let you do whatever you want to do. You can show the video, babe, or the picture. Is that the worst thing that's going to happen to you? How many of you know the worst thing that's going to happen to you? You're going to travel better, more. You're going to travel better. You're going to travel for less. You're going to take 2 or 3 amazing vacations that you probably wouldn't have taken while you're learning the skill sets that will build your confidence, that will cause you to take action, that will cause you to get results, that will give you more confidence, that will cause you to take more action, that will cause you to get more results. And it's all predicated on these skill sets. And you can hear Todd and I, Maria, and all the other leaders working on making sure you understand the skill set. And the number one thing is activating your list, an active list. And the number 1A is actually learning the invite to pique someone's interest to get them to review this information. Todd, another great show, locked and loaded here. This is just one of the pictures from Disneyland here. That's our daughter and 2 of our grandkids. It was pretty amazing. These 2 grandkids got a chance to meet the other 2 grandkids that live in San Diego. Our daughter had a volleyball game yesterday. Our granddaughter had a volleyball game in San Diego. So we drove, got a car, went down to San Diego, and they got a chance to hang out together. So pretty amazing, Todd. Thank you so much for all you do, man. Truly, truly unbelievable, buddy.
Yeah, what a phenomenal picture there of your family. And guys, you got to hear one of those great invites today from Marlene. The way that Maria invited Marlene to the business. You got to hear Marlene's response to this pyramid thing. You got to hear Gary Thompson's response. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Gary talked about going back to your list, guys. By the way, I just pulled up my phone. I don't expect your guys' list to be as big as mine. I've been doing this a while. But your list is going to grow over time. And if your list continues to grow, this is on my phone, 15,805 contacts, okay? Now, guys, we have Labor Day coming up next weekend. Every single one of those people should, at a minimum, hear from you, happy Labor Day. How's your family doing? Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. If nothing else, just to touch base. Hey, how you been? Happy Labor Day. Hope you guys had a great summer. It gets a conversation started. They write back, oh, we're doing great, man. How have you been? And guys, now you're going back and forth, right? Go back and revisit the list, but there's some built-in moments throughout the year. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, National Sibling Day, National Beer Day. I mean, guys, there's so many. Earth Day. I mean, you guys, there's so many different things you can do. Hey, guys, you can just keep in touch with people, right? You're a professional conversation starter. And now, by the way, guys, we've been telling you about this new program with the company that they're going to be improving the ambassador program, right? So they bought this multi-million-dollar penthouse suite in Las Vegas, Nevada. They officially own it. They took the keys and possession last night. And I got this video. This is just the view at night from just one of the balconies. And when you become an ambassador, guys, this is your house. And Miss Adela Hart. I mean, guys, this place is unbelievable. By the way, he put in another offer on another place in Cabo. The one in Cabo is like 5 or 6 bedrooms, 5, 6 bedrooms, right on the ocean. I mean, guys, the company's going to continue to collect those properties. And so that when you become an ambassador, you not only have all of the Louis Vuitton and all of the trips and the ambassador dinners and all that stuff's still going to happen. But in addition, now there's this legacy collection of places you can go where they want to be. Cabo, it's Las Vegas, it's Thailand, the Maldives, Miami. They're going to buy one every single year. That when you become an ambassador, you can go there with your family. Like Daryl Marie, you saw that great picture there at Disney. Hey, you know what? We could take our kids, our grandkids. Hey, let's go to
Everybody.
Whatever that property is. By the way, I would say bring your friends, family, and your biggest naysayer. All right, the one that told you this would not work. Bring them along too. That way they can tell you one more time about how awful this thing is. Anyway, guys, hey, what a great call today. Gary, thank you. Marlene, thank you. Hey, guys, just so you know, in 1 hour and 50 minutes, you have a flyer for that presentation today?
Producer, are you around? Guys, it's going to be at 12 noon Pacific time, 2 o'clock Central. That's 3 o'clock East Coast. And the ID number, she just went into the room over there with the kids.
Meetupworldwide.com. All right. So
you can definitely get it on there. If you've got the ID number, if you've seen any of our presentations, it's on that one. Call somebody if you need to get it. She just stepped out with the grandkids for a minute, but yeah, we're going to rock and roll. And Marlene's going to be on there doing a live testimonial for us today. At least I hope you are. You're not going anywhere. Okay, we got her today, guys. And we'll have 1 or 2 other people as well. Todd, amazing. You are the very best of the best. Thank you so much for being here. And this is the most fun, one of the most fun things I get to do every single week, listening to empowering people and learning what to do and get better and hopefully empowering other people to live their best life.
All right, guys, have a special day. Hey, hop on that presentation in an hour and 50 minutes. Guys, don't forget we got the fireside chat tomorrow night with Ambassador Deborah Taylor, Ambassador Cynthia Sly, and 4-star, almost Ambassador Pastor Mel Keys. They do such a great job every Sunday night. Hey, guys, have a great week. Don't forget, Labor Day is a week away. Contact every single person on your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, in your phone at a minimum. Happy Labor Day. How have you been? Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a great summer. Just get a conversation going. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye for now.